You're sitting on the couch, minding your own business, when your cat climbs onto your lap, stares at you with half-closed eyes, and starts pushing its paws into your thigh. Left, right, left, right, like it's making bread dough. It might purr, it might drool a little, it looks completely hypnotized, and you've probably wondered, at least once, what on earth is actually happening inside that small, strange brain. The answer takes you somewhere you might not expect. It reaches back millions of years into the evolutionary pressures that shaped not just cats, but the entire mammalian relationship between infant and mother. What your cat is doing on your lap right now is not random. It's ancient. And once you understand what it means, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Here's where it starts. Every domestic cat alive today descends from a small wildcat called Felis sylvestris libica, the African wildcat. This animal began its slow drift toward human companionship somewhere around 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, that ancient stretch of land across the Middle East where humans first figured out agriculture. When humans started storing grain, rodents followed the grain and wildcats followed the rodents. No one domesticated the cat the way they domesticated dogs, through deliberate selection and breeding over generations. The cat essentially chose proximity to humans because it was profitable. And the cats that tolerated humans reproduced more successfully than the cats that ran away. But that origin story doesn't explain kneading. To understand kneading, you have to go back even further, not to agriculture, but to birth. When a kitten is born, it is completely helpless. Its eyes are sealed shut, its ears are folded. It cannot regulate its own body temperature. The only things that matter in its entire world are warmth and milk. Within minutes of being born, a kitten will begin nursing. And as it nurses, it pushes its paws alternately against its mother's mammary glands. Left paw, right paw, left paw, right paw. This is not a random movement. It's functional. The pressure stimulates milk flow. The kneading is literally how the kitten feeds itself. Without it, the mother's body may not release milk efficiently enough. The behavior is tied directly to survival. So kneading begins as a feeding mechanism. A hardwired motor pattern embedded in the kitten's nervous system. But here's what makes it fascinating. Most animals lose their juvenile behaviors as they mature. A wolf pup playbows, but an adult wolf in the wild generally doesn't. A foal nuzzles its mother for comfort, but adult horses in the wild don't seek that same contact as a primary behavior. Maturity brings behavioral shift, except in domestic cats. Domestic cats need well into adulthood. Some need their entire lives. Why? This is where domestication becomes genuinely strange. When humans selectively, even unconsciously, favored cats that were calmer, more tolerant, more comfortable with human contact, they were doing something biologically profound. They were selecting for what researchers call neoteny. Neoteny means the retention of juvenile traits into adulthood. Not just behavioral traits, physical ones too. Domestic cats have proportionally larger eyes relative to their skull size compared to their wild ancestors. Their faces are slightly rounder. Their vocalizations, particularly that short, high-pitched meow, are sounds that adult wildcats rarely, if ever, make to each other. Adult wildcats communicate through scent, body posture, and low vocalizations. The meow, as most cat owners know it, is essentially a behavior kittens use toward their mothers, preserved in domestic cats and redirected toward humans. The same logic applies to kneading. By living alongside humans, by being fed without having to hunt, by existing in an environment where survival didn't require full adult wildcat behavior, domestic cats retained the kitten behavior of kneading far beyond weaning. The stimulus that originally triggered it, nursing and warmth from the mother, got transferred. Now soft blankets trigger it. Your lap triggers it. Your slow, warm presence triggers it. You are, in the neurological framework of your cat, functioning as a surrogate mother. That might sound strange, but consider what's actually happening during a kneading session. Your cat seeks you out. It climbs onto something warm and soft. It engages in a deeply embedded comfort behavior. Its heart rate likely slows. Its brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that floods the brains of mammals during physical closeness, nursing, and touch, the same hormone that floods your brain when you hug someone you love. Kneading isn't your cat being weird. Kneading is your cat feeling deeply, completely safe. There's more. Cats have scent glands embedded in the soft pads of their paws. Every time a cat needs a surface, your blanket, your thigh, a soft cushion, it deposits a small invisible chemical signature. This is territorial behavior running in parallel with comfort behavior. Your cat is not simply relaxing, it is also, at a primal level, marking you. Claiming the space, saying, in the oldest chemical language mammals have, this is mine, this is safe, this is home. The two behaviors, comfort and scent marking, happen simultaneously, layered on top of each other, because evolution rarely builds behaviors with only one function. Researcher John Bradshaw, an anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol who has spent decades studying the domestic cat, describes the cat-human relationship as fundamentally different from the dog-human relationship. Dogs evolved to read human social cues over tens of thousands of years of deliberate coevolution. Cats did something different. They maintained their independence while developing a narrow but powerful set of social behaviors directed at humans. Behaviors that are, at their core, infant behaviors. When your cat needs you, it's not performing a learned social display the way a dog might wag its tail for approval. It's running an ancient program that was never designed for you at all, but that found you anyway. There's a counterintuitive twist buried in all of this. The cats most likely to need as adults are often cats that were weaned too early. Kittens that are separated from their mothers before 8 weeks, the standard minimum for healthy development, frequently show more persistent kneading, more suckling of fabric, more comfort-seeking behavior in general. The behaviors that were supposed to transition away naturally got frozen in place by an interrupted process. The same developmental logic appears in other mammals. Early separation from primary caregivers tends to intensify attachment behaviors rather than reduce them. Your brain, your cat's brain, both shaped by the same evolutionary pressure, never lose sight of the source of warmth and safety. And that's the thing that pulls this all the way back to you. You are also the product of millions of years of attachment wiring. Your brain also carries ancient programs for seeking closeness, warmth, and physical comfort. Programs that evolved when your ancestors were small, vulnerable, and completely dependent on each other for survival. When you feel a wave of calm sitting quietly with your cat while it needs your lap, that's not just pleasant. That's two ancient nervous systems, shaped by entirely different evolutionary stories, accidentally finding a common frequency. The cat is not aware of any of this, of course. It is simply running a program written long before you existed. A program that says, find warmth, press your paws into it, release the chemical of safety, breathe slowly. And your nervous system, tuned to respond to the presence of other warm living things, answers back. The next time your cat climbs onto your lap and starts that slow, rhythmic push of its paws, you'll know what's actually happening. Across millions of years, through the accident of domestication and the strange alchemy of neoteny, your cat found something in you that its nervous system recognizes as the oldest safety it has ever known. You went looking for a weird quirk, and you found 10,000 years of evolution, a mother's warmth, and the chemical language of belonging. You're still just sitting on the couch, but now you know what you are to that small, kneading, half-dreaming creature in your lap. Metadata. Viral video title. Why your cat needs you. The real reason. Video description. Your cat climbs onto your lap, starts pushing its paws in slow, rhythmic circles, and looks completely hypnotized. It seems adorable and random, but it's neither. The real reason cats need reaches back millions of years, deep into mammalian evolution and the survival instincts of newborn kittens.